Okay. Uh, Hi, I'm Steve. I'm blind. And if you're wondering how I'm able to play video games if I'm blind, if you take a look at the video here, or if it's not there, click the link in the description down below to be able to see exactly what I see when I'm playing video games. Today's video is a little bit special because I kind of wanted to share a special moment with you all. And this is going to be as kind of off the cuff, really no editing whatsoever. So I apologize if I ramble, but this is something that I wanted to at least acknowledge this particular moment. It's in regards to this YouTube channel specifically. As of today, November 2nd, 2020, I've officially been on YouTube for 15 years. I signed up for my first YouTube account in November 2005. Don't know, that is the same year that YouTube launched. And this is before Google had purchased it. This is before the ability to be able to even upload videos longer than 10 minutes. And I haven't been creating content as often on this channel in the 15 years. There's definitely a couple years where I didn't have any content on this channel for quite a while. I kind of used it sparingly. I've only really actively been using it since 2015, but I wanted to at least acknowledge this moment and kind of share a little bit of my YouTube journey. And yeah, if you've never heard this before, cool. I would love it if you stick around and watch the whole video. If you have heard this before, at least in some part, feel free to give this video a like, at least just to, acknowledge the moment of spending 15 years on YouTube, because it's a long time. That's a long time to be on any platform. And I am so honored to kind of share this milestone with all of y'all. So I remember the day actually that I did sign up on YouTube. It was at a time when I was sort of just starting out creating content, or just wanting to be able to create content online. I actually at the time was interning on a TV show for G4 TechTV. I was an intern for a show called Call for Help. And if you know G4 TechTV, you may be wondering, okay, wait, wasn't it just G4? Wasn't it TechTV? So in Canada, there was a version of TechTV Canada. And then when G4 bought TechTV in the States, essentially G4 kind of owned the rights for TechTV Canada. So they decided to combine it into G4 TechTV. So it was actually more of a hybrid of the two channels than G4 eventually did, with more the gaming kind of pop culture entertainment side. G4 TechTV in Canada kind of had a combination of the gaming pop culture, but then also a lot of the tech. And we had to also create our own programming on that network. And part of it was they wanted to keep the show Call for Help going, because it was something that was kind of a heart and staple of Tech TV. And if you don't know, at the beginning of Tech TV, Leo Laporte was the kind of main host and producer during that time. He was the original host of the show Call for Help. And if you don't know Call for Help, it was more of a call-in tech show-ish, but it was like people would ask Leo questions about how to be able to do things in technology, or just any kind of aspect of technology. Then they would also kind of give tech hints and tips and stuff like that. It was kind of a cool TV show to be able to watch. And I remember watching it with Leo. And then also when I started watching Tech TV, it was when Chris Pirillo was the host of Call for Help. So in Canada, they decided to produce the show in Toronto, and they would actually bring Leo Laporte as the host back, and they would fly him up to Toronto once a month for a week, and they would record about 15 episodes in 1 week. and they had a bunch of different co-hosts and producers, and I was the intern for the show because I met Leo and usually his crew of people and hosts and stuff like that. They would do these fan meetups whenever Leo was in town, and they would do them occasionally. So I got to go to at least 2 of them. And I remember talking to one of the producers, and I was able to apply and get accepted to be an intern. I was mostly like the teleprompter kind of thing, but I remember specifically the day that I signed up for YouTube because they were doing a segment on YouTube. I remember it was Leo and Amber MacArthur, who was sort of showcasing YouTube and what it could do. And it was kind of a cool place to be able to upload and share video instead of having to download it or embed it somehow, like have it on a server somewhere to put it up on a website, because that was all you had, like all you could do at the time. And so the idea of embedding a video onto a web page from YouTube was very novel and very like new, and we were all wondering like, wait, how is YouTube able to do this? Video and file size and bandwidth was expensive, and eventually they got bought by Google. But I remember sitting in the studio when they were shooting that segment, and I immediately just grabbed my laptop and signed up for an account on YouTube. And I went with the name youtube.com/snowball because at the time that was my nickname. I had that nickname since I was a kid. I was kind of sort of building up a bit of a name of myself as Steve Snowball Saylor. That was my nickname for quite a while. Even my early podcasting days, I would refer to myself as that. And so I figured Snowball was kind of a cool name, and it was available at the time because, of course, it was available. It was the first year of YouTube, so yeah, it was available, and I had that, and I would upload a few things here and there, some podcasting stuff and some tech stuff, and it was just some weird, like little tiny videos that thankfully will never see the light of day. You'll never find any of those videos. There was a private. Let's see, somehow get into my account, which I hope will never happen. But it was really cool. And then, but it wasn't until like I didn't really use YouTube that much. It was sort of like a place to just upload video, but it wasn't really, I didn't really think of it as a place where I could be able to do a show or like my own thing. I kind of did in a way, but I never really could make something that was sustainable, that I could stick with and get an audience. And there was no thing to be able to, like, there was no being a YouTube creator and building an audience just on YouTube. Like that wasn't a thing. It was more of a, here's your account, here's where you can upload videos, but you want to get people to go to your website with those videos on it. And that's where you wanted people to go, not necessarily to go to YouTube and subscribe and watch videos there. That was still foreign at the time. And so I've had a lot of ups and downs on YouTube since then. I remember actually distinctly one of the major downs was in 2010 when I was just graduating from my radio programming radio program in Humber College, and I was getting my first job in radio. I was moving out on my own, and I thought, you know what, like I was more working behind the scenes in the digital side of radio at the stations I was working at. So I figured I would sort of use YouTube as a way to kind of create my own content and sort of keep up with sort of the same announcing skills that I had learned in my radio course at college. So I wanted to be able to use YouTube again. But for some reason, I think it was a video I posted with I think it was a Simon and Garfunkel song as a background music, and it was just a random thing. And I don't know to this day if this was the cause of it, but all of a sudden I tried to log into my YouTube account, and it was blocked. I couldn't log in. It would kick me out, and it wouldn't really give me a message or a warning or an error. And I had a few other Gmail accounts. I tried logging into those on YouTube accounts, and they worked. So it was just this one account, and I couldn't figure out why. And I had to email Google or use their form to be able to try to message them to say, hey, what's going on? Because this was also really kind of like around the time when copyright strikes were sort of happening, but not to the point where it had like Content ID where it was flagging a lot of videos at that point. Or maybe it was. I kind of get my own personal YouTube thing mixed up, but I didn't hear back from anything from Google. I just figured it was just a form where submissions go to die, and it just would go disappear in the ether somewhere. So I didn't use that. I couldn't use my YouTube channel. So I decided to start up another one, and I had a different one. And I was posting videos on that, and it was kind of cool for a bit. And then about I think maybe 2 or 3 years later, around that point, all of a sudden I get an e-message from YouTube and said, hey, we looked at your account and we saw that there was nothing wrong with it. So we've reactivated it. Again, no warning, no message, anything like other than that. It's just, hey, you're now back up and running. And so I was like, well, great. I've had this account for a while, but I really want to use my original one. So I stopped posting on the other account and I started using the youtube.com/snowball because I really liked that, as that was my URL, was really cool and it was very specific to me. So I used that, and I kind of used it sparingly a little bit here and there between 2010 and 2015. But I tried a few things and it didn't really work out. And then it was beginning of 2015, I started the Blind Gamer series here on YouTube. And if you've heard me sort of tell my story before, I'll keep it brief. But essentially, I love the idea of the Let's Play genre on YouTube. It was exactly kind of what I used to do when I was a kid, when I would watch my brother play video games more than I would actually play, because I used to think I sucked at video games. And so I created Blind Gamer as sort of a series, kind of like where I was going to be like a Markiplier or Jacksepticeye, where I was kind of going to be known as sort of Blind Gamer. And it was a way to entertain my friends. It was a way to literally just like, I've been telling them for years that I sucked at video games. Now here's proof. And that was exactly it. It was supposed to be a comedic, self-deprecating kind of thing. And I didn't think about accessibility in any way, shape, or form at that. I just thought that the blindness of what I have, my disability, was sort of the niche that kind of separates me from the rest of just anyone else who was starting up their own Let's Play channel on YouTube. And it wasn't until 2017 where I realized how much and how important accessibility is. And that's when I completely changed my sort of outlook on my channel. And I was like, you know what? Instead of just creating fun, entertaining content, I could make a difference, and I could maybe like talk about accessibility where it hasn't really been talked about a lot at that point. I mean, it was to a certain degree, but it was I kind of felt like I had a specific voice that I could sort of share and give feedback on, and talk about accessibility in a way that would advocate for it, and basically just hopefully reach out to as many people as possible to showcase how important accessibility is, and from a disabled person's perspective. And what an amazing journey it has been in the past 5 years. Since I started Blind Gamer, essentially that's kind of where my YouTube channel really took off. In September 2015, that's when a YouTuber by the name of Leon Pep, he was a Greek gaming YouTuber, and he had a subscriber base of about 40,000 people. And he made a video on his channel sort of saying there's this unknown talent named Steve Saylor. You all should check him out and subscribe and share and show some love to him and his channel. This is based on a translation, because the video that he put up was all in Greek, and so I had to get a third party to basically translate it for me and tell me essentially what it said. And because I remember I went into work that day, and all of a sudden I was seeing a ton of emails from YouTube, like hundreds of emails from YouTube, and I was like, oh no. What did I do? I had thought that I'd broken my account again. I broke my channel again, and they weren't going to let me back in again or something. And then when I looked and I saw it was messages of comments and subscribers and stuff like that. I was like, oh, what happened? And that's when I started to find out about this guy named Leon Pep. And essentially, within 24 hours, I got over 1,000 subscribers. At the time, up until September 2015, I had 130 subscribers total. That was it. And then in the course of a day, I was up to around 1,500, almost 1,700 subscribers in 24 hours. And it only kept growing from there, where I remember even the year later in 2016, I finally crossed over the 2,000 subscriber mark. And it's been a very steady growth ever since then. And as of this recording, I now have 8,777 subscribers. That's a lot. That is a lot. And I can't help to sort of, now thinking about the past and thinking about where I've been, I can't help but sort of see where I'm at and be excited for the future. Because this channel has grown so much just within a very short period of time that relatively soon I'm probably like going to be celebrating my first 10,000th subscriber video, and hopefully maybe at some point 100,000, a million. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning of this, and now I'm sort of sitting here talking to you today about 15 years of being on this platform. And to those who sort of think about they want to become like famous or create content full time for a living, it takes a lot of work. I'm proof of that. Like I said, I've been on this platform for 15 years, and it only took me this long to be able to get to the point where I'm at now. I'm not an overnight success. As much as my video of reacting to the accessibility in Last of Us went viral and sort of jumpstart a lot of the content this year and the content that I'm doing, it still took it wasn't an overnight success. It was literally years and years of work and a lot of money put into this channel. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into this channel, and I wouldn't be sitting here today. And it's so surreal to think that this YouTube channel has grown so much, just even within the past 6 months. Like 6 months ago, I was making content on YouTube. I was doing pretty okay. I had maybe about 4,000, maybe 4,300 subscribers or somewhere at that point. It wasn't a lot. It's a decent amount, but it was enough to kind of keep me going. But up until literally the reaction video that went viral 6 months ago, I've grown so much. My audience doubled overnight. My platform, like a lot of my platforms, kind of my followers kind of doubled overnight. And I'm even sitting here literally with a PlayStation 5 in one hand and an Xbox Series X in another. Literally at the beginning of this, I would not have thought that I would be in the position where I would be getting these review units from companies to, like, they're sending me consoles to review and talk about the accessibility of them. I never would have thought that was possible. So I know this video is super long, and I apologize. I just really wanted to kind of commemorate this moment. I wish I had a much bigger sort of celebration thing for 15 years on YouTube, but I just really wanted to kind of talk about what has happened in the past and what I'm excited about for the future. I am so excited for what's going to happen on this channel and just in my own personal life, but just accessibility in general. We're at a point in the industry where accessibility is becoming a much bigger and much louder conversation happening, not only just in the games media, but in studios. And we're at a really amazing place that I can only see it growing. I don't see accessibility or the conversation die down. I can see it growing and becoming bigger, and where it's going to get to a point where we're going to be talking about accessibility in games and sort of picking at the nuances of each and what we would like to see improve here and there, instead of just talking about games and wishing that they would have some accessibility. I can't wait to get to that point, and I'm hoping that I could be a part of that conversation still and keep going, because I feel like regardless of what you feel about fate, faith, or destiny, I feel like that I was put on this planet to do this, to talk about accessibility from my own perspective as a disabled player, but just sharing perspectives from other players and what is important about accessibility. And I feel like this is what I was put on this planet to do. And I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. I'm very honored and humbled that you are here watching this video. And whether you're subscribed, I hope you're subscribed. If not, please do. There's amazing stuff coming on the way, and I can't wait to be able to share a lot of amazing more moments for 5, 10, 15 years from now. I don't know whether what YouTube's going to look like on my 30th year of being on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. So I just want to say, to end it all, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for, if you've been a long time subscriber or you're just brand new to this channel, I thank you so much for being here and supporting me. And I can't wait for you to come. So thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next video. And as always, for the past 15 years, I have been obediently yours.